Have you ever stood in front of the mirror and felt like something was just slightly off? Not wrong, not bad, just not quite you. Like a beautiful painting placed in the wrong frame, or a symphony played just one note out of tune. Everything familiar is still there. Your eyes, your smile, your presence. But something about the way it all comes together feels muted. And often, it's not because of age. It's because of small style choices that unintentionally dim the light you still carry so gracefully. Waving hand, welcome back to Healthwise for seniors, a space where we don't chase youth. We celebrate timeless elegance. Today's video is not about judgment. It's about gentle awareness and powerful shifts. We'll walk through 10 common style mistakes women over 60 often make, sometimes out of habit, sometimes out of not knowing what else to wear. And more importantly, I'll show you how to correct each one with ease, dignity, and confidence. Now I know what some might say. At my age, I don't need to dress up anymore. But let me ask you this. Would you keep a priceless novel without a proper cover? Would you play a grand piano without ever tuning it? Of course not. Because anything of value deserves to be cared for, and that includes you. Loudspeaker, before we dive in, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Healthwise for seniors. Your support allows us to keep creating thoughtful content for women who are not fading away, but instead choosing to show up fully, boldly, and beautifully. So, shall we begin? Part 1, Lacking Elegant Accessories. How small choices can cheapen your look. Expert insight. As a longtime image consultant and aesthetic specialist for women over 60, I've learned this one truth. When it comes to style, the smallest things often speak the loudest. And nothing speaks louder or whispers more poorly than the wrong accessories. Many women simplify their wardrobes with age, which can be empowering. But when we oversimplify or rely on mass-produced, low-quality accessories, we risk appearing less refined, less intentional, even less confident. A pair of plastic earrings, a loud, flashy necklace that turns green in the sun, a handbag covered in obvious logos. These details tell the world we've stopped caring, even when we haven't. In the world of refined fashion, there's a saying, luxury is quiet, tacky shouts. Real-life example, I once worked with Linda, a retired literature professor from Seattle in her early 60s. Her clothing choices were lovely, soft blouses, tailored pants, beautiful cardigans. But her accessories? Bright costume jewelry, mismatched bangles, cheap sunglasses. During our session, I replaced her rainbow bead necklace with a single freshwater pearl strand. Her look transformed instantly. But more importantly, so did she. She stood taller, smiled more genuinely, and looked in the mirror with pride. It wasn't about trends. It was about harmony and quiet confidence. Refined solutions without changing who you are. Less but better. Own 3 signature accessories, small pearl or silver studs, a silk scarf in a flattering tone, and a timeless wristwatch. Choose authenticity. Ditch plastic and fake metals. Opt for genuine silver, gold, wood, leather, or semi-precious stones. These age beautifully like you. Match your body, not a trend. Petite frame, avoid oversized earrings. Short neck, skip chunky chokers. Balance is key. One bold piece at a time. If your earrings make a statement, keep your necklace soft and subtle. Invest in quiet luxury. A well-made vintage leather handbag says more than any big brand logo ever will. Final thought. Accessories don't just finish your outfit, they introduce you before you speak. So let them say, I'm still here, I still care, and I still have impeccable taste. Part 2, The Comfort Trap. When easy, silhouettes diminish your presence. Expert insight, comfort is essential. Especially after 60, when our bodies change and our priorities shift. But there's a fine line between dressing comfortably and dressing carelessly. Too often, I see women wearing oversized tunics, shapeless pants, or baggy cardigans, not because they love them, but because they've been told they should be comfortable at this age. Here's the truth. Comfort and elegance are not enemies, but laziness and elegance are. When clothes hang off your body like curtains, they erase your shape, your posture, and your energy. What was meant to make you feel invisible actually makes you invisible. Real-life example. I'll never forget Barbara, a 67-year-old retired speech therapist from Denver. When we met, she wore flowy printed tops, stretchy capris, and orthopedic shoes every day. "They're easy," she said. "And I'm not trying to impress anyone." But something shifted when we introduced her to tailored high-rise pants and a structured linen blouse. Still breathable, still soft, but with clear lines. She looked in the mirror and whispered, "I forgot what it felt like to have a waist." Barbara didn't lose a pound, but she gained presence. Refined solutions without losing comfort. Structure equals elegance. Swap oversized tops for ones with a slight taper at the waist or a belt tie. Even a subtle dart can bring life back to your silhouette. Elevate your base layers. Trade in saggy leggings for straight-leg pants or soft trousers with a defined waistband. They're just as comfy, but far more refined. Don't drown in fabric. Long tunics and wide pants can overwhelm petite frames. Balance volume. If the top is loose, the bottom should be fitted and vice versa. Reclaim your shape with dignity. Posture, shoulder seams, and hemlines matter. Clothes that fall right where they should, shoulders, bust, hips, make all the difference. Comfort is in the details. Choose quality fabrics with stretch, cotton silk blends, pont knit, or soft linen, rather than clinging synthetics. Final thought, being 60 plus doesn't mean fading away. It means showing up in your full, powerful form, softened by wisdom, not hidden by fabric. The right silhouette doesn't squeeze you. It reminds the world, she's still here, and she still owns every room she walks into. Part 3: Fast Fashion Traps. When you dress for your age, not your worth. Expert insight. In the age of TikTok trends and mall fashion hauls, many women over 60 feel pressure to keep up or stay young through clothing. Ironically, in trying not to look outdated, we often fall into an even more dangerous trap: dressing cheaply, loudly, and without personal integrity. Fast fashion tells us what's in, but not what's right for us. And chasing every trend can quietly erode the elegance you've earned over decades. When we choose a glittery top because it's on sale, or a bold neon dress because everyone's wearing it, we're not expressing personal style, we're hiding behind noise. Remember, style is not about fitting in. It's about standing firmly in who you are. Bust in silhouette real-life example, Karen's story. Karen, 62, is a retired marketing executive from California. Sharp, intelligent, and full of life. But every time I saw her, she was wearing whatever was trending at the local department store. Sequined graphic tees, ripped skinny jeans, chunky sneakers. She thought she was staying youthful, but in truth, it looked like she was trying too hard. Karen wasn't expressing joy, she was avoiding visibility on her own terms. When we rebuilt her wardrobe with fewer but higher quality items, like a well-cut navy blazer, a white silk blouse, soft camel trousers, she glowed. Not because she looked young, but because she looked ageless. How to elevate without erasing yourself? Curate, don't collect. Instead of buying 5 $20 trend items, invest in one $100 piece that feels like you. A signature dress in your color. A blazer that fits like it was made for you. Follow your inner compass. Ask, does this reflect who I am or just what's trending? If you wouldn't wear it in 6 months, don't wear it now. Replace noise with nuance. Instead of loud prints or cutouts, opt for luxurious textures, tweed, brushed cotton, matte silk, or structured knits. Tailor before trend. A pair of wide-leg pants that fit beautifully will always outshine the hottest skinny jeans. Be the trend. Let your confidence, your smile, your posture be the most striking thing about you, not a $12 fluorescent cardigan. Final reflection, you are not a season, you are not a trend. You are a legacy of taste, lived experience, and quiet elegance. Let your wardrobe honor that, not with noise, but with knowing, not with youth, but with timeless worth. Part 4: Fabric tells the truth. When what you wear feels cheaper than it costs. Expert insight. We don't always realize it, but fabric speaks. It moves, it touches, it whispers or screams something about the woman wearing it. One of the most common styling mistakes I see in women over 60 is underestimating the power of material. You can wear the right silhouette, the right color, the right cut. But if the fabric is thin, stiff, overly shiny, or clingy, it instantly cheapens the look. The truth is, cheap doesn't always mean low price. Sometimes, it's the feeling someone gets when they brush past your blouse and instinctively pull away. Or when your trousers rustle loudly with every step. Or worse, when synthetic fabric clings in all the wrong places under soft lighting. The elegance of a woman is never louder than the quiet confidence of her fabric. Bust in silhouette real-life example, Janet's shift. Janet, 65, is a retired nurse living in Charleston, South Carolina. She had a lovely sense of color and shape, but most of her clothes were made from polyester blends, cheap stretchy tunics, overly shiny scarves, printed pants with a plastic sheen. When we swapped those out for a small capsule wardrobe in soft modal jersey, washed linen, cotton silk blends, and matte crepe, the difference was astounding. Her clothes didn't just look better. They moved with her. They softened her frame. They breathed. Her granddaughter once told her, "Grandma, you feel like a hug now." That's the power of fabric, not status, not price tag, but presence. How to upgrade without breaking the bank? Feel before you buy. Always run your hand along the fabric in store. Ask, does this feel breathable, soft, grounded, or slippery, stiff, and artificial? Switch shine for softness. Trade overly shiny satin or poly for matte finishes. Cotton voile, bamboo, linen, cashmere blends. Soft absorbs light, cheap reflects it. Watch for cling. Fabrics that stick to the body, especially synthetic knits, can add years to your look. Choose ones that skim instead of squeeze. Weight equals luxury. Heavier drapes, double-layered weaves, or structured knits always look more refined, even in basic silhouettes. Let your skin breathe. Natural fibers like cotton, silk, tencel, and wool not only look better, they age beautifully with you. Herb final reflection. A woman over 60 doesn't need labels to look luxurious. She needs fabrics that honor her skin, her movement, and her quiet power. So next time you stand in front of the mirror, don't just ask, "Do I like this outfit?" Ask, "Do I like the way it feels when I move, when I'm hugged, when I enter a room?" Because how something feels often says more than how it looks. And after 60, you deserve to be felt with grace. Part 5, Makeup Mistakes That Age You. When your face no longer feels like you. Expert insight. Makeup, at its best, is not meant to hide who you are, it's meant to highlight the life you've lived. But for many women over 60, makeup becomes a mask, or worse, a time machine gone wrong. We've all seen it. Harsh eyeliner that drags the eye downward, overly matte foundation that settles into fine lines, or a lipstick shade that overwhelms rather than enhances. The problem isn't makeup itself. It's applying old habits to a new face. What worked in our 40s may not serve us now, and clinging to outdated techniques can unintentionally distort the version of ourselves we're trying to honor. Bust in silhouette real-life example, Marilyn's awakening. Marilyn, 68, is a retired librarian from Vermont. She had worn the same makeup since her 30s, powder foundation, black pencil liner, frosty pink lipstick. It was a formula that once worked, but it no longer fit the softness of her features or the warmth of her natural silver hair. In our session, we replaced heavy foundation with a light skin tint, swapped the dark liner for a soft brown shadow tight-lined at the roots, and used a rosy nude lip balm with subtle sheen. When she looked in the mirror, she teared up and said, "This is the first time I've seen me in a long time." How to refine your makeup without losing your identity? Skip the mask. Choose lightweight, breathable products that even skin tone without erasing texture. Tinted moisturizers, BB creams, or serum foundations are ideal. Rethink the eyes. Harsh black liners and overdone brows can harden the face. Opt for soft brow pencils, brown liners, and mascara focused at the root for lift, not drama. Glow, don't glitter. Frosty shadows and shimmery blushes can emphasize texture. Use cream blushes and subtle highlighters for a lit-from-within effect. Warm up your lip. Ditch the bright reds or icy pinks unless they truly suit you. Try rosewood, soft mauve, or peachy nudes for natural radiance. Let skin be skin, Mature skin is beautiful when respected. Let freckles show. Let some lines stay. Focus on glow, not cover-up. Final reflection, your face carries decades of laughter, tears, wisdom, and wonder. It deserves makeup that honors your story, not one that tries to rewrite it. So next time you reach for your makeup bag, don't ask, how can I look younger? Ask, how can I look more like myself? Just softer, brighter, and still beautifully present. Because at this age, beauty isn't about turning back time. It's about being at peace with how far you've come. Part 6, the loud handbag. When your bag speaks louder than your presence. Expert insight. A handbag is more than just a container for your essentials. It's a companion, a statement, and often an extension of your personal brand. But for many women over 60, bags become either an afterthought or a distraction. Oversized totes stuffed with just-in-case items, purses with loud logos, heavy chains, or flashy prints can easily overpower a woman's quiet grace. There's a difference between carrying something stylish and carrying something that screams for attention. And often, the louder the bag, the less we're seen. A woman's elegance doesn't need to announce itself with rhinestones or brand names. It shows up in subtle textures, clean lines, and how confidently she carries herself and her bag. Real-life example, Diana's shift. Diana, 70, is a retired art teacher from Portland. She was vibrant and full of character, but always carried oversized floral print handbags with chunky buckles and noisy hardware. When we worked together, I asked her to try a medium-sized, structured leather satchel in a warm taupe tone. No logos, no bling, just beautiful craftsmanship. The result? Her outfits, simple cashmere sweaters and linen trousers, suddenly looked expensive, but more importantly, she looked centered, uncluttered, present. She later told me, for the first time, I didn't feel like I was hiding behind what I was carrying. Light bulb how to refine your handbag game without losing personality. Size matters. Ditch oversized bags unless necessary. Medium-sized crossbody or top-handle bags are both elegant and practical. Edit the noise. Avoid bags with jangly charms, thick chains, excessive zippers, or glitter. These details age quickly, and so do you when you carry them. Choose timeless over trendy. Opt for classic shapes, saddle bags, totes, and satchels in leather, suede, or canvas. Let the silhouette speak. Pick quiet luxury. Neutral tones, camel, navy, burgundy, charcoal, often blend with more outfits, and don't fight for attention. Let your presence carry the bag, not the other way around. A woman's style should walk into the room before her purse does. Final reflection, you've earned your elegance. You don't need a handbag that tries to say something about you, because your posture, your eyes, your energy already do. So next time you reach for a bag, ask yourself, is this amplifying my presence or competing with it? Because true style doesn't shout. It speaks softly, surely, and just enough to leave a beautiful echo. Part 7, the wrong shoes. When your walk loses confidence, even in the perfect outfit. Expert insight. A beautiful outfit means little if your shoes make you wince with every step. And yet, this is one of the most common style-blind spots I see in women over 60. They focus on their wardrobe from the ankle up, forgetting that elegance walks on feet. Shoes affect more than your style. They shape your posture. They change how you move through a room. They decide whether your body feels supported or silently struggles. But here's the trick. Comfort and confidence aren't found in bulky orthopedic sneakers or sky-high heels. They live in that sweet spot, where form meets function and where shoes serve your spirit, not just your soles. Bust in silhouette real-life example, Elaine's return to confidence. Elaine, 66, from Austin, Texas, had impeccable taste in clothing. Softly tailored pants, muted tones, flowing blouses. But her shoes told a different story, heavy black clogs with thick soles and zero grace. When I asked her to try a low block heel in soft leather, stable but sleek, her entire presence shifted. She stood taller, walked smoother, smiled more. I didn't realize how much my shoes were dragging me down, literally and emotionally, she said. And that's the quiet power of the right pair. How to step up without sacrificing comfort. Ditch the one pair for everything mindset. You deserve more than all-purpose shoes. Have at least 3 go-to pairs: elegant flats, comfortable low heels, and stylish walking sneakers. Support can still be stylish. Look for arch support, cushioned soles, and wide-fit options. Available now in ballet flats, loafers, kitten heels, and chic sandals. Avoid overly chunky or clunky designs. Heavy soles and wide shapes can visually shorten your legs and add years to your look. Choose natural materials. Leather, suede, and woven fabrics breathe better and mold to your feet, aging beautifully with time. Watch the details. Peeling faux leather, worn-out insoles, or dirty sneakers quietly communicate neglect. Care says more than labels. Herb final reflection: you've walked a long road. Your shoes should honor the grace, strength, and softness you carry with every step. So next time you slip on a pair, ask yourself, do these help me walk with presence or make me retreat from it? Because after 60, it's not just about how you look in motion. It's about how you feel in motion. And you deserve to feel powerful, steady, and unmistakably you. Part 8, neglecting your hair. When your hair ages faster than you do. Expert insight. Your hair doesn't have to be long, dyed, or trendy to be beautiful. But it does need to be cared for intentionally. Because after 60, hair becomes more than just an accessory. It becomes a reflection of how we feel about ourselves. Dryness, thinning, dull color, harsh styles, and outdated cuts can silently add a decade to your appearance, even when your skin glows and your outfit shines. And yet, so many women fall into 2 extremes. Either they cling to a hairstyle from decades ago, or they give up completely, treating hair as an afterthought. The truth is, your hair can be your softest frame or your harshest distraction. Bust in silhouette real-life example, Nora's transformation. Nora, 63, from Scottsdale, Arizona, had beautiful bone structure, clear skin, and a vibrant personality. But her hair, dry, box-colored, and pulled back in a tight, outdated bun, told a different story. When we softened her cut into a layered bob and embraced her natural silver tones with a luminous gloss treatment, the change was breathtaking. Her features lit up, her expression softened, she didn't look younger. She looked fully alive and fully herself. I feel seen again, she told me, and it wasn't about age, it was about care. Light bulb how to let your hair work for you, not against you. Embrace change. Hair texture shifts with age. Let go of styles that no longer serve your face shape or lifestyle. Explore new cuts that frame, not fight, your natural features. Say goodbye to harsh box dye. Overly dark, flat colors can harden your face. Consider blending in your natural silver or softening with lowlights and glosses. Moisture is queen. Switch to nourishing shampoos, deep conditioning masks, and leave-in treatments designed for aging hair. Hydration brings back vitality. Don't neglect the cut. A regular trim, every 6-8 weeks, maintains shape, prevents thinning from looking stringy, and keeps you polished. Style for softness, not stiffness. Avoid heavy hairsprays or stiff updos. Instead, use light creams, mousses, or volumizers to add movement and touchability. Herb final reflection: you are not your hair, but how you care for it whispers something powerful about how you care for yourself. So next time you catch your reflection, ask, does my hair support the woman I am today or a version of me from the past? Because your hair should be more than maintenance. It should be a mirror of evolution, elegance, and quiet joy. Part 9, dressing out of place. When your outfit feels off everywhere you go. Expert insight. There's a quiet elegance in knowing how to dress for the moment. Not to impress, not to compete, but to show respect for yourself, for the space, and for the people around you. One of the subtlest ways a woman over 60 can lose her presence is by being out of sync with her environment. Wearing sequins to brunch, sporting yoga pants to a funeral, dressing like a teenager at a gallery opening. These aren't crimes, but they send a confusing message. And as we age, clarity in our energy, our choices, and our image is everything. When your style aligns with the setting, you don't just look appropriate, you look anchored. Bust in silhouette real-life example, Lorraine's wake-up call. Lorraine, 69, from San Diego, was invited to a garden wedding. She wore her favorite jeans, a metallic tunic, and bright sandals. Comfortable, yes, but mismatched for the romantic outdoor affair. She later told me, "I felt like I was playing the wrong note in a beautiful song." When we restyled her for future events, soft floral midi dresses, neutral wedges, and delicate earrings, she felt not just beautiful but in tune. I didn't stand out. I belonged. And that made all the difference. Light bulb how to dress in harmony without losing individuality. Understand the tone. Ask, is this formal, casual, celebratory, somber, creative? Let that guide your choices without suppressing your style. Soft doesn't mean invisible. Wearing subdued colors, elegant silhouettes, and refined textures lets your presence, not your outfit, shine through. Mind the setting. Denim at a cocktail party? Too much sparkle at a library event. Know where you are and who you want to be in that space. Have a go-to edit. Keep 3 fallback looks in your wardrobe, 1 polished casual for lunch dates, 1 elegant for events, and 1 refined relaxed for everyday. Less costume, more character. You're not dressing to play a part, you're dressing to represent your grace, wisdom, and life lived fully. Herb final reflection, the best outfits don't make you louder. They make you clearer. So next time you're getting dressed, ask, will this outfit let me move through this space with grace, or will it distract from the woman I truly am? Because after 60, elegance isn't about fitting in or standing out. It's about belonging without trying too hard. Part 10, Giving Up on Yourself, when your outer self reveals an inner surrender. Expert insight. There's a moment, not marked by age, but by quiet resignation, when a woman starts to disappear from herself. It often begins subtly, skipping the lipstick, leaving hair undone, choosing the same old sweatshirt day after day. And yet, these choices aren't about laziness. They're about loss of direction, loss of worth, loss of belief that it still matters to show up for yourself. But here's what I've learned after working with women for over 2 decades. How we dress is never just about clothes. It's about presence, permission, and the quiet promise that I am still here. When we stop tending to ourselves, we're not just letting go of style. We're letting go of the mirror, of the woman looking back. Bust in silhouette real-life example, Carol's Reconnection. Carol, 72, from Minneapolis, used to be a museum curator, sharp, articulate, always in flowing scarves and clean blazers. But when I met her a year into retirement, she was wearing oversized sweatpants, old sneakers, and a faded tee. "I don't know who I'm dressing for anymore," she said. It wasn't sadness, it was detachment. Instead of a makeover, we started with a morning ritual. A soft robe, a dab of perfume, brushing her hair slowly, picking earrings she hadn't worn in months. One day, she wore a soft ivory blouse with pearl studs to a grocery run. She came home beaming. Someone complimented my smile, not my outfit, but I think the outfit gave the smile permission to show up. That's the secret. Style is not for others. It's a homecoming. Light bulb how to begin showing up again? Gently. Start with one small act, a scarf, a lip tint, a blouse that fits just right. Let beauty feel like kindness, not performance. Dress for your own reflection. Not for approval, not for the crowd, but for the quiet moment when you catch your gaze in a window and say, "That's me, and I'm proud of her." Ritualize care. Turn getting dressed into a sacred pause, a moment that says, "I am not an afterthought." Surround yourself with light. Natural fabrics, gentle colors, soft textures, they don't just look lovely, they feel like hope. Release perfection. You don't need to look like before. You only need to feel like now, present, real, and open to joy. Herb final reflection. You are not invisible. Maybe you've just been waiting for the right moment to return to yourself. So let this be that moment. Not with glitter, not with noise, but with a quiet blouse, a soft scent, a gaze in the mirror that no longer looks away. Because after everything life has asked of you, you still deserve to stand, tall, soft, and seen. And sometimes, all it takes is getting dressed like you believe that's true. And now that we've walked through all 10 mistakes, I want to remind you of something important. You don't need to chase trends. You don't need to look like your younger self. You don't even need to be put together every single day. But you do deserve to feel proud of the woman you see in the mirror. Not because of the clothes you wear, but because you took a moment to show yourself care. Style, at this stage of life, isn't about standing out. It's about showing up with intention, with grace, and with quiet strength. So tell me, which one of these moments spoke to you the most today? Was it a pair of shoes you've outgrown? A haircut you've held onto for too long? Or maybe, just maybe, a part of you that's ready to return? Drop a comment below. I read every single one. Because this space isn't just for advice, it's for connection. For women like you who still have so much light to give. Yellow heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Healthwise for seniors, where we honor the beauty that doesn't age. It simply evolves. Thank you for spending this time with me. Until next time, stay soft, stay strong, and stay beautifully you.